Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horace.
Hey there, Chris. Well, when I started off the episode 6, I thought it was going to be the final because that's what IMDb said. But it turns out we've got 2 more episodes, so not the final, and it makes a bit more sense because I was trying to think how would you have so many blokes and then just wrap it up. So where do you want to start today?
Dave, I'm putting a warning on this episode for you and the listeners because it's almost we should have called this too hot to handle. I know obviously we've done that series because I'm telling you now, I'm coming in hot today, mate, because I'm watching Labour of Love now. Episode 6. It's been a great series so far. I'm calling bullshit on pretty much all of it now, Dave. We know it's a reality show. We know that there's going to be a bit of direction. We know some of it's set up, but we start the episode with the Love Island baby challenge, basically. It's not their fault. Obviously, I'm not saying they've nicked it from Love Island, but obviously the pretense of the show is that she has to get pregnant and have a baby with somebody, or that's the direction we're going to go in. I'm going to bet my left bollock, Dave, that she's not with any of these people after the end of this fucking series. I am telling you now, they will not be together. However, she gets up at 2:30 with unbelievable, um, unbelievable bit of makeup on,
Yeah.
just out of bed, Dave. Totally fake. And she gets straight up and doesn't say like, "What the hell's that baby?" She goes, "Kristen, are you there?" And it's like, oh god. So I can forgive that, Dave. I mean, what did you think of that bit first?
Yeah, I mean the makeup was pretty obvious, wasn't it? She's not got puffy eyes and blurry eyes and whatever from waking up early morning. Yeah, it was bollocks, wasn't it? So it was just so made up, just so fake, wasn't it? I know all the different reality dating shows get accused of this a little bit. But I thought that was particularly bad, and like you say, straight off Love Island, this one, wasn't it? This trick.
It was bullshit. I mean, like I say, I'm going in hot. So all right, we'll give that a little bit. She's the main contestant of the show. It's centered around her. She's the picture, poster child of this whole project. Wherever you go, Labour Love. It's about Christy, and the guys are just as peripheral figures, and hopefully she meets somebody at the end of it. Dave, we go 10 yards across the fucking path, and we've got the guys there. So we've got Trent, Gary, Marcus, Stuart, and Kyle. Their house looks like we've had an all-night rave. Okay, so they've gone to bed. Um, they've actually gone to bed, and they have not heard that this house or heard anything from anybody that this house has been absolutely trashed. They're either the best burglars we've ever seen, Dave, or, which I do think happens, is they've been told to come out on cue at a certain point because there's no way in hell they have not heard any of that noise. I'll give the lads credit. They did come out with the hair all over the place, not like Chris did. They did actually have proper like bed hair and stuff. But I mean, it just bugged the fuck out of me then because then this is fruit because of this at the start and being obviously a reality TV whore that I am. It's just made me question the whole series now because I just think Christy and Sam said it while we were sat. We both said it without acknowledging each other. Not like she's directed me or I've directed her. We both said she's too fucking polished for this. She's got everything is just on point. What she's saying, um, she's too much of a presenter. She could literally do this show without Kristen Davis. I don't know why
Yeah.
she's there, to be honest.
I guess she's just got to have someone, sort of taking her through. But yeah, you're right. She does have a bit of a presenter sort of vibe to her. I mean, as for, is she going to get pregnant at the end? I think not. I think it's going to be like The Bachelor, isn't it? Where there's maybe an engagement at the end. I can't see it going any further than that. And like the whole baby thing is probably just more. It's a gimmick, isn't it? It's a line to get you in, and it fucking worked with us, didn't
Yep.
it? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They could have given all Rohypnol, Chris, and just knocked them all out for the evening.
Well, yeah, that's true, Dave. Maybe they got tanked up or something. But I mean, so I get the pretense of the baby thing. No problem. I have no issue with that at all. It's part of the show. They have to show, like, the she's going to get pregnant. You're going to have to. Are you going to be a good dad? Are you attentive? I think though, what really narked me, Dave, was Stuart and Kyle. The fact that the other guys were trying to tidy up the flat, the apartment or house, whatever it is, and they just sat there, didn't they? Just dead
That that
arrogant.
was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it came across as quite arrogant as well.
Yeah, and then what annoyed me was good old Stewie baby, who seems to say all the right stuff as if he's been reading a book on how to be a father. When Christy comes in, he's got the baby, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I've really bonded with it. Yeah, yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck off." And Kyle was just completely fake, very arrogant. But they both won the baby challenge, which is
Yeah, yeah.
utterly ridiculous because was this is where I call the show fake because Christy, she must have been able to see this stuff. They do show her things, so why did she not seen that these three had actually tried? I know Trent did a cartwheel. That's not the best bit of fatherhood, but he's a doll. And Gary even said the same. You're not going to get a doll, a baby, and leave it in the middle of a bed while you go and have a shower and that, are you? Do you know what I mean? So he was trying to be, and then Christy has this weird fake face that she does where she's like really annoyed. And as soon as she did that with Gary and Trent, I thought they're both going today. And they
Mm.
subsequently did. And I was just like, I'm not off the show because I'm going to watch it, but it's really narked me at how it's just completely fake. They might as well have said this is a mockumentary. So it's a fake reality show. That would have made me believe and be more invested because I don't believe any of this is going to come true at the end of it.
Blimey.
I've gone in, Dave. I'm sorry. I was hot
Christy
on this when I was watching.
shit on your cereal or something. No, I think honestly, you're right. I think the thing with the cleaning up was a bit strange, because like you say, it's all part and parcel of having kids, isn't it? You need to make sure, you're cleaning up, and even these little things, it does. There's a lot to do, isn't there? Like you say, so when you have a real baby, and I just think personally, I think all the cleaning up and stuff is just part of it as well. So yeah, bit strange. I think Gary's never seen Love Island though, has he?
But no.
Ultimately. So I think whether it's a real baby or not, you have to, if you're going to win it, you sort of have to pretend like it is a real baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I do get the preset. I think he was just trying to say, look, this isn't a real, but I get what he was saying. However, you are right. As part of the challenge, you've got to pretend it's a real baby. So it's like a double edged sword for me. I know what he was saying, but as soon as he started saying it and Christy did that face, I was like, hey, you're gone, mate. You're
Yeah.
gone. You're not reconciling this. You were nearly gone the last episode. You are definitely gone. However, Dave, I honestly think that the person who she should be picking to be the father of her children, obviously there's got to be a connection in that, has gone. I was my favourite, and we both said this, me and Sam were watching it, is Trent, and he's gone. He seems to be the most genuine one out of all of them, and he's down the road.
Yeah, and he was quite emotional as well, wasn't he? He wasn't
Yeah,
happy, and we've not really seen that from Trent. So he'd been a bit of a joker, hadn't he? Kidding around quite a lot. But yeah, I think that date probably changed it for him. He seemed
yeah.
to really enjoy the date, connected with her on a different level. So yeah, I don't know. I still think she made a mistake with getting rid of South African Alan, to be honest.
Alan, yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I do, I really, really do, and I think I totally agree on that. And also, what I don't understand is like this situation with Kyle. Is Kyle's coming across that? I mean, you had Trent before Trent and when he was Trent and Marcus in the end went over to Christy and were like, we need to have a chat. And obviously, Trent's got a truth T-shirt on, which I thought was apt. And she even called him out on it. They said to her, Kyle is arrogant. He's all
Yeah.
about himself. And I've not seen anything, but I do think there is a chemistry there with her. She seems to be really into him. Like that, genuinely, she's forgiven him for. She said straight away he was, you know, if you were a dad, right? We're both dads. We've both been dads. You've done it 3 times over, so you've got more experience than me there. But we've all been dads. I've had brothers and sisters. I grew up looking after them and everything. And if I was sat at home and Sam was at work, or like your other half was at work, and you're just sat there, you're tending to the baby all day, but basically there's a fire going on all around your house. So you've got a bomb site of a house, toys, nappies, shit, food, flour. all this stuff can happen with a toddler, especially with a toddler, not a little baby, but a toddler. All this stuff can happen. If they come in from work, they'd be like, "What the holy fuck have you been doing all day? Could you not have just run a Hoover, or could you not just have spent 10 minutes when the baby's asleep or done something?" They didn't make any effort at all and I find that bizarre. However, and so they tell her this. They tell her about Kyle, right? And they say like he's not truthful, blah blah blah. I think basically for some reason Marcus seems to be getting a ticket out of it because he's just an absolute stalking psycho. I think, but. It then pans to Kyle's mum and dad, who then admit that Kyle really bullied his youngest brother. And I'm thinking, why the fuck would you even be saying that on here? I'm not saying everyone can change as you get older. You're like, oh my God, I was terrible. I apologize. But the fact that they've just called their own son out and they looked at each other and went, he really did bully him, didn't he? I'm like, holy fuck. Is that not an alarm
Yeah,
bell or what?
that should be a big red flag, shouldn't it? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm not stop talking, but I was
No,
spot on
no,
there.
it's all right. No, I'm not sure what more to say about that. I just think, yeah, if she overlooks that, I mean, it's not a good trait, is it? They wouldn't admit to it if he tortured uh, little animals in the garage or something, So I don't know, it's something a little bit Dexter about him, or what's the guy? Christian Bale's
Oh,
character.
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick
Yeah, it's
Bateman,
American
that's the one.
Psycho. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but I don't think it's a good trait. But I think, as you've said, she seems to forgive him for pretty much everything.
Yeah, because she said straight away, the only thing regret I've got is you didn't kiss me. And he went, should we make that right now? And then just goes in, and I'm like, but you can see she's very passionate towards him. The VT we see for the next episode, she jumps on him and puts her legs around him and everything. I genuinely think there's something there. Hopefully, it's just pure editing because no, he's not coming across well for me. But like Stuart, I've called Stuart out a few times. He didn't do anything wrong in this episode other than that one liner. And I do think he is too much trying to cater to winning the show or winning her over. You've got to be yourself. She should fall in love with you as a person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You all say that, oh, you're on your best behavior or whatever, but it's like, but just be yourself. I just don't think he's being true to himself at the moment. Hopefully that changes for him because he does seem a good guy, but I just think a lot of it is just put on. But Kyle, I've got a red flag, but I tell you, who I've got a red flag for, Dave, and it's not just a red flag; it's a fucking plane flying over my house right at this moment with about 15 red flags. Is Marcus? How the fuck is he going into the last two episodes of this? He is an absolute maniac. He should not be in there. He's complete. And we've seen that little exchange with Kyle later on, didn't we? But he's just going through this, causing problems, shit stirring, just being really weird. When he was doing that song and stuff when she was kissing, I think it was Matt a few episodes ago. It's like,
yeah,
it's just not right. You're too obsessed with her already.
yeah. No. I wonder if he gets the Patrick Bateman Award actually.
I think he's worse than Kyle, to be honest, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised he's in there. I mean, you were calling Gary out, weren't you, as being a
Mm.
contender, maybe a
Yeah,
bit of a
yeah.
dark
Well,
horse, and I'd have said Gary had a more of a chance of it than certainly Marcus did. But she did take Marcus on that first date, and they did seem to have a connection, like quite a strong connection from early on. So maybe it's just still remnants of that. But I don't really see him as being a contender now. I think it's probably between Stuart and Kyle, I'd have said.
yeah, I'm with you. I think Marcus is just there to fill out another episode and she'll bin him off at the end of episode 7. I don't know anything because it's on weekly, but I just think he's not going to make it. She's just going to say, see you later, unless one of the other two. I think Stuart's going to the final, Dave. Whether he wins it, it's just whether Kyle reveals himself properly. If this is the way it's leading up to that, he is a bit of a selfish person. That I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure, but there's no way Marcus is winning it at all. It's going to be Stewart and Kyle. I think they're the only two options. And if you had to pick, I'd go with Stewart.
Yeah.
As much as what I've just said about him, I do think he's probably the most genuine out of the three of them. So and he hasn't put a foot wrong. It's just that he's too clean and nice with what he does. Too
He's sort
slick.
of too perfect, isn't he?
Yes.
It's like he's got a game plan, and he knows that he can't put one foot wrong, Whereas, we saw like with Keith, getting a bit fiery, getting a bit angry, and not giving a shit really. I think Stuart's probably a bit smarter, and just smarter slash more calculating. Definitely got a game plan because generally in life, Chris, no one is that perfect. We all
Yeah.
have our off days and stuff. So yeah, but I think he's definitely the favourite at the minute.
Yeah, I do as well. And I know, like I've said there, I just don't think Christie's going to be with any of them. I said it earlier on. I've said it a few times now. Can't see it, Dave. I just can't see it. I just don't know what is going to be. It's going to be great viewing, obviously, of these two episodes. I've come in hot today. I've not stopped bloody talking about this, but it's
Got
just
you
really pissed me
riled
off.
up, hasn't it?
Oh, it's proper. I could probably go further, but I don't want to get the podcast banned, Dave. But no, no, I'm joking. But I just don't think she's very genuine either. So I'm struggling to believe that she really, really wants to do this. I just think it's a complete made up show. It might be out of her control. It could just be the executives, whoever produces it, of just like, we're going to go with this, go this far. She's been on the Bachelor and stuff, or the Bachelorette, so she knows what to do. It's a very similar format. It has got better because I wouldn't be talking like this if it hadn't. I do think it's had a bit of a resurgence last couple of episodes, and I think going into it, it's become quite a strong series. To be honest, Dave, these 2 or 3 episodes were pretty crap, but the first one was great. Obviously, anybody who has to give a sample live on the TV show is fucking never seen that before. But it's just it's just one of them things. But at the moment, Dave, I think Stuart is the best of a bad bunch of the 4 of them, and I don't really care about any of them really.
Yeah. What do you reckon about a season two? Do you think there'll be a season two of this?
I just get someone who's genuine, someone from the side of, um, from the ladies' side who I think is a bit more genuine to me, or more sincere on screen. And then the guys, I mean, I don't know how you would do that where you'd vet that and stuff, but there needs to be something because they've got a great diverse range of people and personalities. It's fantastic. We've seen some right kickoffs, haven't we? Like Keith was proper fiery, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
then you've got Trent, who's a bit of a balloon, but he's come through over the last few episodes. Matt obviously was a wrestler, so he had a personality. He could do a bit of acting because that's been his job for years. He's sort of like a stage actor when you're a wrestler. So you've had some great people in the show, but I just think they need to flesh it out. They have less competitors, and we actually have a proper journey, or you maybe throw people in there a bit like a Big Brother Love Island situation. So you don't just start with 10 guys. You might start with 6, and then they add people. See if that
Yeah.
changes the dynamic slightly. So it's
Yeah.
got sorry, Dave. It's got the footings of a great show, and I think it is getting better. I just don't believe any of it at the moment. They've made it so unbelievable. It's just like watching a normal drama TV show for me. I just don't buy any of it.
Yeah. No, I can't disagree with any of that. I mean, I don't know what the ratings are like, but I mean, IMDb gives it a 3.6. And think about some of the movies we've watched, Chris, and IMDb, it's really, really bad. You might get a 4 or a 5. I don't think of all the terrible movies we've watched, I don't think we've done any that are 3.6. So I don't know. I don't honestly think there'll be a season two of this, and you'd have to find the woman as well, wouldn't you, at that time
Yeah.
in her life? And I don't know. I'm still enjoying it. You're right. It did come across. Tonight's episode was particularly fake, I thought, but I don't know. It's a bit like the wrestling, Chris, isn't it? You can still get enjoyment out of it, even though it's all predetermined and set up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's a good Dave. I've enjoyed watching it. It was just a real struggle on this episode. So sorry for being quite negative, but I thought I've got to get off my chest. I can't pussyfoot round, and you know me, I have to go in on these things. So
Yeah,
I had to do it. But no, great episode. And I think as well, Dave, you're saying about IMDb. Well, let's give a little plug to one of our other podcasts, the VHS Strikes Back, because this coming Wednesday, we have got a personal favourite of mine from a child. called Eat My Dust, and I think I only watched it once, and I subjected Dave to that. So if you do follow us on the VHS Strikes Back podcast, get over there, because there's some crackers we've had over the last few months, but Eat My Dust could be the pinnacle of probably the shittest movie we've ever reviewed. Just for the start that Dave hated every minute of it, just made my day. And we've already getting some of our Patreons who are saying that they've already listened to it and they think it's hilarious because we just absolutely go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But trust me, son, next week, the week after, is my choice. And I think it might be worse. So, and I can't wait. In fact, you need to text me when you put it on. You need to text me because I want to savor it.
I'm not fucking telling you. I'm just going to message you. Go, I've watched it. I'm not in a word. Oh, well, I will. I'll message you because you do it to me, and I always fucking. And then as soon as you text me saying, "What is this?" I am just chuckling for the rest of the day. It makes my day. So I will make sure you get your payback.
No worries, no worries. All right, mate. How would people get in touch with us?
On Twitter and Instagram, guys, at cdrealitycast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you do disagree with me what I've said about the show and you have been listening to it, because we're getting quite a lot of people subscribing and listening, Dave, aren't we? I genuinely have no problem you calling me out, and we're happy to read it out. So if you do, just get an email into us. Again, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Or contact us through the social media stuff, and I'm happy to have that discussion. But at the moment, I just think it's a load of fake bullshit. But it's reality TV 101, Dave, so I'll be tuning in next week.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you the same time next week, Chris.
Bye now.
Bye now.